Here we are, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to your nightmares for the next few weeks. Let's see where your camel obsession got us.
Hey, this is real sticky.
That pleases me for some reason. And they just start eating!
It's real delicious, too.
Guys, no! When you find a giant pile of foodstuffs, you don't just start eating it! Haven't you ever seen The Odyssey? Spirited Away? You can't just... At the very... What?
What's going on?
Okay, so this scene here is pretty much the only reason anybody remembers this movie. And I won't lie, it's the best scene in the film. It's also the freakiest scene in the film.
I was asleep.
Meet the Greedy, folks. A guy who doesn't seem at all upset that they were eating him just a second ago, but then again, he eats himself all day long.
I am the Greedy.
How do you do? Funny name. I would have picked the Gluttony, but I guess that's not subtle enough.
Taffy Pit.
What sort of place is this?
This is not in the woods, folks.
My domain.
Actually, you know what kind of vibe I get from this scene? I don't know how many of you have played Yume Nikki, but this looks like that place where you go to after you talk to Uboa with all the cream everywhere. So this horrible abomination lives in a giant pit of himself,
And I never get enough.
and
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's...
he's apparently collected candy from all over the world, whatever that means. I don't know how he goes anywhere.
I'm never satisfied or happy.
He eats instead of facing his problems, basically.
That's terrible. Is there
Um,
we can do to help?
If you could tell me, well, where I could find a sweetheart.
Sweetheart?
What?
Oh, what? The accents in this movie crack me up.
I need a sweetheart.
Okay, so another song number.
You can give me
Ah!
cotton candy.
What the fuck?
Or old lollipop. Filled
Why does it have boobs?
dripping fun.
I
Scotch and nuts that never stop. Feed me
like when it goes down and hands come up, very Yume Nikki-ish. Okay, so I was gonna say a lot about this character and oh wait, okay, here's the thing. When I was in preschool, I went to a preschool I didn't like. And I remember they read us these storybooks,
so that's why I said.
and one of them was a Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy book. And I'm pretty sure the Greedy was in the book, because I remember like this big goopy brown thing that Raggedy Ann and Andy were trapped with, and it wanted to eat them or something. I don't know, my memories of it were vague, but I definitely remember seeing him in a book when I was a kid, and it traumatized me for years just reading the storybook. I'm like, what is that thing? That freaky thing?
And without a sweet.
And it scared me for so long. I used to have nightmares about it. And then, when I saw, like I mentioned earlier, the Nostalgia Critic's Top 11 Mindfucks video, and it got to the number with this film, and it showed the scene, I'm like, oh my god, that's the thing! That's the thing from that book when I was a kid! The scary thing! It was real! I didn't just make that up!
The skull will be on our way.
Well, why do you have to leave?
Cause we gotta rescue
Because you
the
scare
friends.
us.
Pirates. So if you'll just let us go...
No. Excuse me. No, you see, you don't understand. You must help me find a sweetheart.
What I love about the Greedy is every single screenshot you take of him, he looks completely different. He never stops shifting and changing. This animation is incredible. Like, I remember, like, this scene really doesn't have any much of an impact in the movie. This character only shows up in this one scene,
Not to be.
and he doesn't really affect the plot at all. But the people who made this film refused to cut any of it because the animators worked so hard on this animation, and I'm really glad they didn't cut any of it, because this is cool. This scene actually made me a little nauseous when I first saw it, because it's like you get seasick, because he never stops moving.
Because without a sweet
So, some people wonder
I never get enough.
where they're supposed to be.
Never get enough.
And if you reject the Yumeniki thing, they're probably...
Get enough.
This Taffy Pit is a place that doesn't exist in the normal world-ish. I mean, like, my thought is, you remember in the Toy Story 3 when it opens up and you see what playing looks like to the kids? Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, and I'd like to help you, but I'm all overworked off.
Not that. Tell me the other part.
What other part?
The part about
The part you probably shouldn't have said, you idiot.
It must be real sweet.
So, Anne accidentally let slip that she has a candy heart for some reason.
A candy heart.
And the greedy, misunderstanding what a sweetheart is, suddenly decides
It seems to me, Mr. Greedy, that you have
that he needs that heart. And he's going to get it, one way or another.
I want that sweet candy.
This character is so fascinating to me in his existence. Where did he get this idea of a sweetheart? Where did he come from? Why does he exist? How did he even get all this food if he never leaves himself?
keep going.
I don't get it.
No one can resist vanilla.
What I was starting to say earlier is that, this place where they're supposed to be, I feel like it's a realm of imagination. Like, you know, remember in Toy Story 3 where you see what playing looks like from the toys, and they're like in this imaginary world where impossible things are happening, and I feel like that's where they've ended up, because they're toys, and they don't exist on the same realm of, on the same plane as us mere mortals. So when they're in this, it's supposed to be like fantastical, magical place that human beings cannot reach. What the greedy reminds me of really is like, I remember as a kid, I really hated Tootsie Rolls. And I still hated them. And the worst part is when they're in your pocket and they start melting and they get all like this sticky brown crap and it smells bad and you throw it away. And maybe that's where the greedy come from, throwing away your crappy candy. Still wondering how he gets that food. Can he move around? Is any piece of food and all of the world a little part of the greedy? Maybe he's looking through your pantry right now, you don't know. So yeah, freaky as shit. Well, enjoy your eternity of eating your own taint. Bye-bye. So that happened. What the hell did we just witness? Some people say this is a big-lipped alligator moment, but I don't think it is, because Anne mentions it in the scene right after.
Can we sit down and rest?
Because they're all worn out from fighting him.
Feel bad.
That would be why the trees have faces also, because they're not in the normal woods anymore.
Oh, thank you both for saving me.
Because when a toy goes too far from it, where people can't see it, it ends up in a place. Like when you lose your toy, they end up in Narnia, basically.
And when we get out of here, we're gonna take you home with us.
So that scene did have kind of a purpose that I guess could be established another way, but I'm glad they did it that way.
There it is again.
So it established this friendship between them and the camel with the wrinkled knees that they could,
Oh, Mr. Camel.
and they invite them to come, him to come live with them because he helped them out.
Oh, it was that dream again. Yeah, I guess so. Home. I'm always dreaming about home.
Well, we wanna go home.
Is home a place with a lot
Before
of
we
camels?
We've got to rescue Babette.
Who's Babette?
Or be-
Okay, we said this to the greedy earlier. Weren't you listening, you asshole?
Present. Who's Marcella?
Marcel is where home is. And we can't go back there until we...
Marcella's where home is. You mean a lot to your toy. Oh my god!
Too good to be true.
The captain stole Babette away in his pirate ship.
Stick 'em up. Bang! The flag says you need help.
Are you a toy too, or are you an abomination like that other thing?
From a helpful
He's got stitches on him, so I guess he's a toy.
people who need help. Now I bet you want to know where Babette is.
Yes.
Am I right?
How did you know that?
Well, leave it.
Cause I was eavesdropping on you, cause I'm creepy as fuck. Why does he have a keyhole in the front of him?
I'll
telescope.
Did you steal that from some other kid? Because it's clearly got a
Don't see anything.
Star Spangled Banner thing.
I do. You've got a black eye.
You lay off my sister, Sir Leonard.
Oh, have some gum. Oh, that kills me.
Hey, what is this?
Welcome to Looneyland. It's
Where your nightmares will die.
come from.
Painfully, horribly, and traumatically.
We're going to try them all out on you.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Crazy asshole.
You're in, and nobody ever gets out of Looneyland.
God damn it! We're constantly arriving in places where people tell us we'll never leave.